In this video, I will be explaining how the Ridge second autoscroller blockless skip can be done using pause buffers. The footage shown is from Nero's original clip of the trick. So I guess the first thing would be, how do you do a pause buffer in Celeste? So generally the way this is approached currently is by first pressing pause and then unpausing, and while the game is unpausing, you can press multiple chapter restart buttons sort of at the same time, kind of staggered, in an effort to quickly get into that restart chapter screen. And the goal is to allow the game to advance by one frame so you can execute precise movements. Now, you don't have to use multiple buttons, but that does make it easier because it kind of gives you multiple chances at getting it. And the reason for having multiple buttons spamming is because you cannot actually buffer that input. You have to input it on the actual frame that you will be able to repause. So with that in mind, that would be the requirement to, I guess, execute the actual pause buffer portion of the trick. But in this video, I will be focusing more so on the actual inputs of, to get this precise lineup to do this trick. So, okay, I guess to get started, the first thing you have to do is you have to dash onto the side of this wall here, this platform, and then just climb straight up onto it. So we can see here, you just climb up onto it, just like that. And that's important because it positions you for when you start to do the downright dash at first. So, okay, so next you dash downright along this platform, and you want to pause kind of when the front of Madeline kind of passes the end of it. That's kind of the goal. It doesn't, we will see that it doesn't really matter where exactly you end. It does influence how you do the rest of the trick, but it doesn't make it, more likely to succeed or more difficult or anything like that. So dash down right, and then you pause. Okay. And so here, this initial pause is for a couple reasons. So the first reason is so that you can unpause and then you can get an ultra dash immediately. And now the second reason is so you can actually see which position you are at when doing that ultra dash. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about that later, but that is very important in getting this trick down consistently. So I'll be talking about that just a little bit later. So definitely stick around for that. So here, you just do a pause. Like I said, as long as Madeline kind of goes past the side of this wall here, doesn't matter too much. And then what you want to do is when you unpause, you can buffer inputs. You can input, actions so in this case, it's going to be jump and dash. You can input those actions before the pause menu actually goes away fully. And so that'll make you execute them immediately when the pause menu goes away. So in this case, you want to press jump first and then dash, and that'll make you ultra downwards as soon as possible. So you do that, and then you want to pause kind of about when you hit the ground. It doesn't matter exactly because, as we'll see, this is when you're going to actually use the pause buffer to get into a precise position. But usually just about when you hit the ground is a good time to try to pause, or earlier if you find yourself going too late. But okay, so from here, so you get into the pause, and then so now is when we're going to do the pause buffer. So from this position right here, actually I'll go back a little bit so it's a little clearer. So you can see, so you can see Madeline right here is still kind of on this ledge. So you actually want one more frame from this position. You need one more frame of time to pass, and you'll see Madeline will more be like here. So she'll look like she's all the way off the platform, but you'll still be able to jump. So you do the pause buffer. So you unpause, and then you try to press the restart chapter buttons, and that should look something like this. And then you'll see one frame has advanced, and so this is the spot. So if you get here, that's good. So now what you need to do is you need to unpause. You need to get out of this screen, and then you need to jump. So you need to buffer the jump, right? Same as we did over here, so it occurs immediately after the unpause happens. So you need to buffer that jump, and then you need to like immediately go into another pause buffer. You need a pause buffer again. So from this point, you need to basically jump for exactly 2 frames. Okay. So this is, in my opinion, the hardest part of the trick because you have to unpause and then press jump. You can't do it both at the same time. You have to press, unpause, and you have to wait like a tiny bit, press jump, and then like, very quickly after that, try to get back into the restart chapter screen. So that looks something like this. So in this case, that was 1 frame advanced. So see, the jump began, 1 frame passed. And then, so at this point, you need 1 additional frame. So keep holding jump, keep holding down right, and then do, 1 more pause buffer. And then so you get here. So this is the spot. So you see this line right here. You're right on it. This is the spot you want to be. So here, now you're going to let go of down right. You're just going to hold right, and you're also going to let go of jump. So you're just going to hold right, and then you're going to corner boost off of this thing. So I usually hold right and grab, and then just buffer the jump off of the corner. And then so I'll just continue in slow-mo, unpause, boom, and there it is. So that's the basic execution of the trick. However, there are a couple things you're going to have to watch out for. A couple variations on that. So most notably, this is very important. So remember earlier when I said the starting position here was important? So there are 3 different starting positions you need to be aware of. So here's the first one. You're like pretty much like your back foot is just like on the platform just a little bit. And then this is the second one where your front foot is just going over the platform a little bit. It can be kind of hard to see when like the pause menu's in the way. So one thing I recommend is if you press your journal hotkey while the game's paused, the pause menu will go away, and so you can kind of see better where you are when you're trying to get a feel for the trick. But okay, yeah. So this spot and then the one I just showed before, those 2 in together make up the first frame set. And so what does that mean? So remember how later on when I said you want to get to this position, and then this is from this position is when you do the jump for 2 frames, and then 2 frames later is this position. That is the first frame set. That part of the trick is the only thing that will change. It doesn't make it any more difficult or anything like that. It's just you just have to go to a slightly different spot. So the second frame set is when your position is in between those first 2, basically. And there's not necessarily a pattern there. That's just kind of the way it works out. I don't fully understand it myself, but it's this position right here where your front foot is off the platform. There's like a tiny bit between the back of your front foot and the platform. So this when you start the initial ultra from this position, you are then operating in the second frame set. So you'll see here, I'll just go forward a little bit. So see, this is the spot. So you'd say, oh, we're at the spot, we should jump down. No, because you have to remember where you started the first one. This was the attempt when it started, when it was on the second frame set, as we just talked about. So you'll see here actually 1 additional pause buffer to get 1 frame farther. And then it's the same thing. It's still jump for 2 frames, except you'll be in a different spot. So this right here, this is the wrong spot because like I said, we're in the second frame set. So now this becomes the spot right here. So at this point, once again, you let go of down, you let go of jump. So you're just holding right and grab, and then you just, corner boost off the corner. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. The difficulty from this trick definitely comes from actually getting the, finding like getting into those correct spots, getting the chapter restarts at the correct time. In terms of the actual inputs, like the actual, movement, like doing the jumps, doing the dashes, whatever, like that part's, that's not the real challenge. The real challenge is just getting those consistent repauses. But I think with practice, it's doable. At this point, I'm not like 100% on it, but just with practice over time, I think it can definitely be doable. So anyway, I hope that's helpful. Also I should mention this does save. Optimally, I've gotten it to save 4 seconds over the normal execution of this room. Of course, it's going to lose time to doing this without a setup, but I got it to save 4 seconds that was in a case where I got, first try every pause buffer. I didn't need to like, do a correction like, oh, I need one more frame or whatever. I just happened to pause on the perfect frames, and that in that attempt I saved 4 seconds. In other attempts where I did need like a lot of corrections, like kind of like in the one you see here where, it's like there's a frame advance and then like a couple more frame advances. If you require more of those, it's going to save less time. But it's still like at absolute minimum, it's going to save you about like 2 seconds. So I think it could be very much worth going for if you can get those repauses. But anyway, I hope that's helpful. Yeah, good luck.